Glory to Ukraine, glory to brave Ukrainian army. We will definitely win. Ukraine stands. Today I want to show you my David Austin roses wedding series. Varieties which is growing or which are growing in my garden or which I have seen near my garden. And I'll start from Kate. This was the first variety from this series. At the time I planted it, I did not know about this series. Of course it existed, but I was not interested in such a deep inquiry what series this variety belongs to. So I have bought it because of color. I was impressed by its bright, so deep pink magenta color. And in addition, it is pretty fragrant, and I love fragrant roses. So yeah, I have planted it, and I was impressed even from the first season in my garden about this rose variety. It is growing for the third years. From the spring 20. So this will be its fourth even season in my garden, and from year to year, this is very neat bush. It's pretty generous. It flowers during 2 waves, and it flowers throughout the summer and even till the late autumn. It shows me very neat flower, very nice flower. This flower, it could be floristic, and it is floristic as of my taste. During the opening and in the middle of its opening, and then after it is completely open and showing the middle of the flower, it's not so nice and not so pretty for me. While it is already open like this. It could change color a little bit. This color could become more lighter than at the beginning of the flowering, and I love much more this deeper and intense color of the Kate variety than this lighter one. And general impressions about this variety are high, although it is susceptible to mildew here in my garden, and it was with very severe signs of this mildew, but still it was flowering, it was growing, and I was impressed by this variety and its beauty, of course. Another one, this is Tess, and this variety impressed me in its color. In general, and previously, I did not like red rose varieties, to be honest. But then I have planted more and more in this color, and the more I have planted, the more I became in love with this color. Tess, this is very, very nice variety. I love it so much because of its so deep red color. It's almost with some dark shades of the red color, and its petals, their composition or their view, they are so interesting. The form of the petal itself, the form of the bloom itself, of the flower itself, it's so interesting. So yeah, I became more and more in love with this variety. And I must admit that it was flowering even during pretty sunny and pretty hot days here in my region. There were more than 30 Celsius degrees, and this bush is completely exposed to the sun, the whole day on the sun, and the sun activity and all this hot period, it did not influence the flower was still in very good condition, in very floristic way, in very floristic view. So yeah, I was impressed how it is strong and how it is pretty resistant to the hot temperatures and very heat, hot sun. Also, during some maybe humidity, I also did not notice any signs of such long-lasting rainings, for example. And its color. Once more about its color. I love it during the sun or during some shady hours or prior to the sunset. In all the weather conditions, during all the hours of the day, I love the color of this Tess variety. In my garden, it is its first season. It was blooming here, and it was blooming throughout the summer. There were 2 waves of the blooming, and yeah, bush itself, it was not so generous during the first year, but I guess it will be much more generous during the second and the next seasons in my garden. You may say that it may lose some floristic view at some period in time during the flower life, but in general my impression is very, very high. Beatrice, one more beauty, a real beauty, definitely one of my favorite varieties from the wedding series of David Austin. And why? Because of its yellow color. It's yellow, but it's not usual yellow. It's so bright yellow. It's so soft yellow, tender yellow, very, very nice. And it's as you can see, the outer petals, they are noticeably lighter than the main part of the flower, but still this is very floristic. The view of the flower is very, very nice, and yeah, I love it on the whole and on every stage of the flowering. Because in one cluster there could be a couple of flowers, and each flower could show its own shade of yellow palette of yellow color. As you can see here on the left, this is Beatrice, and on the right this is Constance Rootstock. This is another variety, not David Austin one, and I just tried to make a composition out of these two sorts. And as you can see on the left, this is Beatrice and its flowers in different shades of yellow, and all these shades, whether they are more lighter or more intense, they are pretty nice in every variant of bush itself. It could be very big, pretty big, more than 100 centimeters high. Here in my garden for the first year it's not so high, it's maybe 70 centimeters, but I have seen it during the summer near my garden in other rose lovers, and I have seen how big it could be. One more beauty, Constance. Wow, this is really very, very noticeable, very, very nice, very, very interesting variety from this wedding series, and I must admit this is my favorite one, at least among all I have planted and I have seen during this season. This is first season of this rose in my garden, and I was impressed from the first flower, from the first cluster of flowers, how changing and how different palettes, shades of this pink color could be. And even the same flower, it could be like divided into two halves, and one half it is lighter, another half it is more intense pink. It's real beauty. Its buds, they are noticeably darker than the flower when it is opened, and then flower during its beginning of the flowering, of the blooming, it is more intense pink, as you can see, and then during its blooming it became more lighter and lighter, as you can see, and this lighter color is still very nice, so interesting. And I love these clusters when it shows different shades of pink, and these outer petals, they are more darker. Yeah, very nice combination of this pink palette in one flower and definitely in one cluster. And I love the flower on each stage of blooming. Very, very nice and masterpiece as of mine, a masterpiece variety from this series. Darcy. Unfortunately, I could not say much about this variety because this is first season in my garden, and the bush was very small, pretty small. It gave me 2 or 3 flowers during the season, and of course I will wait the next season. I will add some additions to this variety, and maybe this will help in growing much more generous bush than of course it was during the first season. So color is pretty nice, and I am not sure that camera transferred this color as it is, but yeah, my expectations are for this current season, which is coming. Spring is close, and we are all waiting for the springs. And yeah, although the Russia terrorist state, they terrorize us every night with rockets, with missiles, every day with missiles, we are still waiting for the spring and for new season to come. And one more beauty, Edith. I have seen this variety and I have taken photos of it in the neighboring garden. It was on the stage of opening flower, and of course I have not seen the whole possible state of this variety, but during the opening, while it is opening, it's pretty nice. It's pretty floristic one, and I think it is interesting because of also combination of its colors. As you can see here, there could be more intense pink, more lighter pink, and even yellow from the inner part of the petals. Very interesting combination. But yeah, of course, to have general impressions and to have more precise impressions, it's better to plant it in my own garden and then share impressions with you. But would be grateful for your impressions. I have planted during autumn, I have planted 2 more varieties. These are Miranda and Juliet. And I have thought about patience, but here in our conditions in Ukrainian gardens, it does not show very much beauty. Based on feedback from other girls or boys who grow roses here in Ukraine. I would be grateful for your comments, for your feedback. What varieties from this wedding series do you possess? Do you grow in your garden? Thanks for listening. Thanks for comments. Till the next video, and bye.